Right, we've done the staples of being a little shit kicker 15-year-old, working at KFC, working at Domino's. We are now graduating to the people that do usually graduate high school, and that's about it. That they convince themselves that they're going on a gap year that then turns into a gap decade working at bars. People from our audience wrote them in, and if you'd like to do the same thing, make sure that you put it at the bottom. There's going to be a pinned comment at the top of what we're going to be doing next, so if you have been in that specific field of work, make sure that you write a comment, and we will get into worse bars. Right after the intro. Can I be hired as a DJ at one of these bars?
I'm not cutting out in the middle of that. You're just going to be doing that there by yourself for a long time.
I intended as much, don't you worry. My father worked at a bar a while back where at the end of each night they would gather all the unfinished drinks, whether it be beer, here we go, wine, yeah, spirits, of course, and add them to a keg to be sold on tap as bitters. Aptly labelled. This was very common in the UK 60 years ago, but it still happens today. How has OH&S gotten so strict that if you don't wear a hairnet, that's it, shut it down? But that same inspector then goes into the pub being like, yeah, now after a hard day's work, 1 bitters please. The ratio of beer is just enough to fool the unsuspecting patron. There you go. There's the magic ingredient. Beer. Worked at various RSLs over the year, had to clean up many an old person poo. They have no shame, pooping everywhere. So they just come out with their butt cheeks like it's a projectile cannon. Right in the fan, goes in their own face. Working as a glassier to Wooba back in 2018-ish. A customer pointed out a guy standing at the bar acted a little funny. For somebody to be acting funny in a Toowoomba pub, they must have been fucking hilarious. I asked him what he meant by that and he just said, you'll see. Ah, the classic tease, good. So I go to have a look as he brings his empty glass down to his crutch, pisses in it a little, drinks the mouthful of piss, and does it again! It's like he was rationing it out! Him and Kevin Costner in Waterworld. Why? I call security to escort him out. This reminds me. Sorry, before we just finish this, I've got to tell this story. One of my friends in high school, he had a cleaner that was Spanish. And then one day he came home and he was just like, I am so angry. And they said, why? And I said, there was a homeless man doing a shit at the front of your house. I says to him, hey, stop doing that shit. This is not a toilet. This is a hole. And how good is it that the homeless man was just like, he ran away. Sorry, but like your story is gold as well. They're both incredible. Sorry, yeah, okay, we'll finish. I called security. It's just so good to just see, like, how funny is it seeing somebody like pissing or shitting and getting angry and being like, that's it, get out. Like they're a dog. Oh man. Jesus, I'm gonna be like Mr. Burns when he recalled beating up that Irish guy. What was I laughing at now? Oh yes, that man rationing his piss. Sorry to get so distracted. Sorry, we'll go back. It's incredible. I call security to escort him out, and the whole way up the hallway he's going, what? I didn't do anything. Why are you kicking me? This is bullshit. Can you imagine how insane you would have to be to think that, like, pissing in front of people and then holding your penis like it's a tap and then drinking it is like, it's just like, what? I don't understand. Worked with a manager who got so wasted on shift that the licensee had to fire him and send him home. He was so blackout drunk that he showed up for his shift the next day, not remembering that he got sacked. Can you imagine how much worse that realization would have made your hangover? I had a manager at a pub that would always send free food to the pokies so they'd keep spending money. Isn't that what they all do? I thought, okay, well anyway. One time he was bragging that he got some dude to lose 10K. Holy fuck, he was bragging about it. Well, I think we all know one thing from that. That man's definitely going to heaven. Oh, you've got one of those wristband things, and yeah, go on in, mate. You get all the schnitties you want. Yeah, and oh my God, it's hell! Staff get banned from working in the pokey area if they don't try hard enough to fuel people's gambling addictions, and there are secret shoppers that come in to make sure the staff are constantly trying to make sure everyone is losing their money. You're not telling me anything that I know that I don't know. I'm heaps smart, all right? Anyway, we'll just move on to the next one. No, but thank you for, like, reiterating that point, because it is f***ed, isn't it? Actually, now that I think about it, no, that's going to be the next one. In the comments right now, Pokies workers, confess your sins. Confess. It is the only way you're getting into heaven. Once had a 40 to 50 something year old guy who weighed about 100 kilos try to climb on the hollow plastic horse statue directly next to the stairs. It's just such good imagery, isn't it? Just some huge fat ass that looks like that old box of Butterbean just being like, oh no, Mavis! When I wouldn't let him kill himself in the dumbest way ever, he started screaming, "Come home and watch Star Wars, you fucking nerd!" See, that right there is the eternal struggle of every comedian I've ever met in my life. They all know that they will never reach the comedic heights of the clown. The entire time, his group was physically dragging him into the elevator, and he was still holding out. Holy hell, wouldn't you wish that he was your anchor in that game of tug-of-war in Squid Game? I heard the elevator open downstairs, and echoing up the stairs, I could still hear him screaming at me, "Go watch Star Wars." That's awesome. So it translated from an insult to a sincere suggestion. His last thing before he dies, telling his son, wait, Phantom of the Menace is better than what we originally gave it credit for, just give it a go. I don't care enough about Star Wars to have an opinion on it. I think it was just because I wear glasses. We are such a dumb country, hey? People don't know what a medium rare steak is. Yeah, okay, this is the classic thing that everybody that works in hospitality is always whining about. You ready for this? And then the steak gets sent back for not being cooked. Bingo. One chef would cook it a bit more. If it got sent back again, he'd marinate it between his sweaty chef butt cheeks. That's a great description. Chef butt cheeks are extra sweaty because kitchens are hot. And a diet of meth and hard liquor makes you sweat. Why is that the case that every chef is just an alcoholic? They're just like, I can't taste anything anymore. That's my profession. I've seen a barber give a drink and swirl with his dick because someone was being insufferable. Don't be rude to people who touch your food. Thank you. I am so glad that you have just given that public service announcement. You're more valuable than all the OH&S inspectors in the country. That right there is a cheat code to life. How have people not figured this out? Worked at a local pub bistro in my gap year. For the most part, it was V-chill, just the regular oldies. But this one time, the resident bikie and his lackey comes in towards the end of the shift, gets his meal, and is munging down when all of a sudden, his lackey gets up and yells, "Oi, they're touching your bike!" There was father and son Eshays with tops off, speed dealer sunnies, and red-coloured get-up near his bike. Not sure if they actually touched, though. Big bikie man didn't give a f***, but lackey starts yelling out to f*** off when the child Eshay turns back to scream, "This is my town, you f***ing c***! I'll stab ya!" Why did every Eshay under the age of 10 think that they, quote, run this town that was founded in what, like 1880? You're 10. At this point, bikie man got up, and all he did was stand towering over his lackey mate and say, "You better f*** off before I stab you first." The Eshays scarpered quickly. Bikie dude then came over to the bar to say, "Wasn't really gonna stab him, too many cameras around." What a boss. What an absolute... See, this is when organised crime was classy in this country. You know how like there was the Italian mafia back in Sicily and it was just a bunch of... Our version of that was always just like... "Yeah, okay, I'll give you a free stab." I didn't know what to do, so I offered him another drink. That was the right choice. Well done. They were good customers, always very polite. They are, aren't they? It's just anyone that has slit throats before, there's always just that acceptance between you two of like, yeah, I could do it to you too. And it's just like, yeah, okay, have a nice day. I was working at a bar down in Frankston and two Eshays and their girlfriends started harassing people sitting outside who quickly left. See, that is such a Melbourne phenomenon, isn't it? Bad bitches. Until I came to Melbourne and went to some Macca's that's in that like little grey Never land between Geelong and Melbourne. And I saw one of the chicks out there just being like, going for a smoke, and then the manager going, you're not going for another fucking smoke. It's like, then fucking find me, I only do this for the smokes. That was the first time I've ever seen someone like that. I was just like, I thought you were only in Nicki Minaj music videos. The girls then proceed to start dancing on the tables and then vomit on themselves and the table. Frankston. She then slips in her own filth and proceeds to crack her head on the edge of this metal table on the way down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Richard Dawkins is wrong. There is a God and you will be punished for your sins. My manager calls the ambo and the cops, and while she's sitting there covered in vomit and gushing blood, she tries to apologize to me and my co-workers by giving us a discount code to her OnlyFans. I hope you accepted that, because I really want to do I signed up to this chick's OnlyFans so you don't have to. What is Eshe porn? Hey, want to see me smoke out of me veg? The Eshes then get jealous and start arcing up at us as the cops and ambos arrive. What? Pretty quiet night, all things considered. And it is. I bet you it is so weird that Melbourne is this weird combination of the punciest and roughest in Australia. I don't know how that happened, but it did. You're in the middle of it. Thank you for keeping us updated. Gave this girl at the bar some water. She thanked me and then put her hand out for a handshake. She then pulls my hand forward towards her mouth and then bites my thumb and pierced the skin and would not let go. You sure that was a girl and not a werewolf? What the fuck? The guy next to her had to pry her off my hand. Oh, okay, so it's not a werewolf, it's a bull werewolf. Took about 5 minutes of her biting harder and harder. Maybe the guy that was pissing a little bit at a time in a glass and then holding his cock was right. What he was doing was normal comparatively to what is happening out there in this wide brown land of ours. What is wrong? It's almost as if alcohol, destroys your ability to make cognitive decisions properly. Anyway, I'm sure your brain is working all functional as social media is designed to make your brain enhanced, obviously, as everybody knows. So make sure that you keep watching YouTube consistently, guys, especially this channel. And now that you are in peak mental state, get a shirt at Friendly Geordies or I bite my thumb at thee. In reference to that and also Shakespeare. It's very classy. Anyway, make sure that you like and subscribe. If you are a Pokies worker, put your story in the bottom. I am revving to hear that, and I think that there is going to be a lot of ding, 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 pure gold.
Please share and comment below. Comment.